right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 8th episode of Business is Effing Hard. We're still trying this live podcast thing, so hopefully it's going to work out well this time and we won't have any technical difficulties. But I'm super excited to have three awesome butt kickers and entrepreneurs from the state of Arkansas today joining us. I am still in what is usually beautiful Destin, Florida, but it's raining today, and so I'm inside. Happy to talk to these awesome folks. But to kick us off, we'll ask everyone to do a round of introductions, just 30 to 60 seconds of who you are, where you're at, what you're working on. And Garrett, we'll ask you to kick us off, man.
Love it. Thanks for having me on. Excited about this. Garrett Peters. I live in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and have been here for 15 years. Been married to my wife, Stephanie, for 15 years, and we have three crazy boys at our house. And so we got a 13-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 7-year-old. So when I'm not running our business, I'm trying to wrangle those maniacs. And yeah, we started an e-commerce business a few years ago, selling keepsake journals and things like that on the internet.
Garrett, so your wife has 4 guys in the house?
Yes, 4. I'm her oldest. I'm her biggest kid for sure.
Absolutely.
So she has her hands full.
God bless her, man. Yeah, we should have her on and talk about how hard that is.
Yeah. I know, exactly.
Yeah, awesome, man. Well, glad you're here. Thanks for taking time with us.
Yeah, of course.
Danette, let's give us your intro, please.
Hi, I'm Danette Bodkin, and I have run a marketing and business consulting firm for the last 10 years. I have been in the business of owning and operating businesses for 35. I've been in marketing for 30. And so we help clients across the US that are in every industry. And we do everything from business plan writing, marketing plan writing, to implementation of marketing campaigns, website design, graphic design, copywriting, you name it, we do it. And I am also a business coach. I can be your cheerleader. We walk through your challenges and solutions, find solutions together, and we make things happen. We're all about helping businesses thrive. My company is consulting.
Sweet. Danette, we're glad you're here. And Danette, you're in Hot Springs, Arkansas, right?
Yes. Correct.
Yeah. And we were talking before we went live, Gerald, who runs the background and makes all this happen. He is in the Philippines version of Hot Springs. And I don't know if you're on there. What do we call your town? What's the Hot Springs of the Philippines called? Los Baños. Like, for those of us that speak a little Spanish, that's the bathroom. I don't think it translated fully, but that's awesome. So, Danette, we're not going to say you're in the Los Baños of Arkansas, for sure. But glad you're here. Thanks for taking some time with us. Brandon, you're the last man.
Well, again, appreciate you having me on. My name's Brandon Barnes, here from Mountain Home. I'm a commercial lender with Arvest Bank here. I've been married to my wife for a little over 5 years now. I've got a stepson that's 15, and then we've got 2 of our own. Walker, that's 2.5. He's nuts. And then the perfect little just calmness, Callie Claire. She's almost 9 months old. A busy dad at home, but then again, do commercial lending with Arvest on the side. We've got a laundromat here in Mountain Home. Owned it for about a year and a half, and then we partnered up with another builder. We've done a handful of spec homes together. Done some land. I say land development. We were going to develop the land. We ended up just flipping it, but we've done some of that. Got another business partner. We've done just some residential flipping. I've got a couple of rentals that we just recently bought. And then in addition to that, excuse me, I've got a small billboard company. We've got, I think, 5 billboards. Nothing too crazy, but just enough for a little side hustle. And then I used to make money with this. I don't anymore. It's mainly just donation auctions, but I'm an auctioneer as well. My family's got an auction company, but with kind of as many things as I've got going on with the family and everything, step back from that. So that's me in a nutshell.
Man, that's great. Great story, Brandon. I know we've talked a little bit, but it seems like you've got 5 full-time jobs plus 2 small kids. So
I need another one, man.
I don't know if you're just drinking coffee or what, man, but like you are busy, man. Thanks for taking time out of your obviously busy schedule to chat with us for a little bit. We're glad you're here.
Thanks for having me again.
Absolutely. So to dive into it, this is the Business is Effing Hard podcast, right? So we want to talk about hard things. So Garrett, if you wouldn't mind kicking us off, man, tell us something that's kicking your butt right now.
Man, we're trying to figure out, we're 5 years in almost to starting our business, and running our business. And we've always had this idea of running a real lean organization and machine. And so we have 4 owners, 4 employees of Duncan and Stone Paper Company. And we basically outsource and have contractors for all the rest. But what we have realized over the last few months is it's the challenge of scaling our business operationally has become a big issue. So for us, in our context, we have 50 different items that we sell that we've created. We sell on now four different channels online. So it's a mixture of managing all those channels, forecasting, cash flow manage, and the list goes on. And so for me and my wife, who primarily run that side of the business, we're like, this isn't working. Like, this is not going well. So going from this year, we'll probably do $4.5 million, $5 million in revenue, which is awesome. And, are growing at 30 or 40%. The problem, it's a good problem to have, right? It's, hey, we're scaling and growing, but how do we manage and efficiently do that over the next few years? So that's the problems that we're facing today.
Awesome, man. Congratulations on the business, Garrett.
Thanks, man.
Something to be very proud of, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Danette, Brandon, you guys have any thoughts for Garrett?
Honestly, that's fantastic. It's very exciting what you have run. And I suggest this to all my clients, is that every single year you look at your business like it's a brand new business, and you look at all the operations and how everything flows and your systems that you're using. And you really do an audit, right, of yourself and of your staff and everything that was in the business and the numbers that correlate with that. And then you'll start to see that picture more in detail of what was working, what was not working, and where you need to pivot and where you don't. And being able to grow in a very controlled manner is the best way for people to grow, because your income continues, your expansion continues, but you're not overwhelmed and then just jumping at things and throwing things into the mix that may or may not be performing, which is why that annual audit is a great way to say, okay, what did we do this year? What worked? What didn't work? What should we get rid of? Kind of thing.
That's awesome. Is there a specific time of year that you suggest doing that sort of stuff? Is it?
When do you do your budgets?
We typically do them like the first of the year. So the holiday season for us is so big, like we're in our like really busy season for our brand. And so we usually wait till like January. Like we have an idea of where we're going to be in 2025, but we'll wait till we get through the holiday season, and then we'll go spend a few days doing an offsite, doing business planning and stuff like that.
So then I would say January before you do your budget, and especially after your busiest time for sure. You want to capture those numbers and what happened in that. But then, take a week and really dig into everything. How are orders processed? How is shipping? How's your staff? What is your gross margin, per product?
Yeah.
What was the curation? Were there any problems with production? All that kind of stuff. So that when you create your budget, you're okay, this all worked fantastic. This didn't work. And then let's try this. Let's do it. Kind of mix as well.
Yeah. Got it. That's super helpful. Love it.
Yeah. I can tell you one of my biggest challenges this past year is I've been very lucky. I've not had to market my business at all. It has all been referral based, and we've helped over 300 clients in the last 10 years. But I have decided to go nationwide instead of local. And I'm having to be on camera a little bit more and sell myself. And I'm having a really hard time doing that, especially because I had a little bit of an incident in that I haven't been able to walk for the last year and a half, which I'm now able to do now. But all of that has been challenging. So I would love some input on how do you get out there and sell yourself, but yet not be arrogant and stay humble and represent yourself well.
Oh, that's a great question. I mean, that's a challenge for sure. I think that my immediate thought goes to leveraging LinkedIn as much as possible. I'm sure you're all over this, so I'm definitely no expert in that space. But as far as marketing yourself, but I definitely start there. Like I think getting as many podcasts as you can, like anything that's related to your field. I think there's probably a lot of value to do as much stuff like you can for podcast and promoting it and things like that. Just get, for me, I'm like, hey, if you're on a podcast, like if you're a potential client, go check this out and hear what I'm about. Get a feel for my kind of like style and personality, right?
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
My big thing here, like in banking, is in Mountain Home, just a very local market. It's not like I'm in Tulsa or Little Rock or Northwest Arkansas market. So my lending and how I go out and get deals, a thing of like it's referrals or it's a lot of current customers referring me stuff. So it'd be tough for me to say as far as social media goes. And again, a lot of the marketing the bank does is, our back marketing office. So we, of course, with federal regulation, we personally can't do me selling myself this week. Yeah, I think, like you said, it's just a matter of being personable, being out there, being seen. And I think eventually people see enough of your stuff on podcasts, they're going to want to do business with you.
The other thing, Danette, is from a website perspective is like revamping. It's all about SEO. It's all about optimizing things on your website and doing as much as you can within the Google suite of products. And so making sure you're set up on Google Merchant Center and making sure you have, I don't know if you do ads, any of that stuff. I'm not sure if that applies in your world. So yeah, so it's a space that years ago we invested in, and I knew we needed it, but I'm not qualified to do all that stuff. So I'm like, we have somebody managing all of our like Google stuff. But I think that makes a difference, right? So when people are searching for anything related to what you can do, making sure you're showing up.
I love that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Danette, just to feedback on that, you mentioned not coming across as arrogant. I think the important parts of that are being genuine, like being authentic and being really who you are, not trying to portray something that's not real. It's so much easier to be yourself over a consistent period of time than it is to try to be something different. And then with all coaches or anyone that kind of is selling themselves, I encourage them. What I do and my stuff is always help first, right? And so I never have a conversation where I ask someone to be a client. It's always, hey, how can I help? And typically it just organically turns into, hey, can I pay you to do this talent? The more you can help first, the more you can be authentic. The customers that you want and that are going to be lifetime customers for you are going to find that and they're going to be attracted to it. And then you're not going to have to sell yourself or anything like that. So,
I love all this. Thank you.
Very good.
Yeah, absolutely. Garrett, I know we jumped off you for a second. One of the last things I heard you say was that you and your wife were talking and you say, man, this just isn't working. Can you expand on that? What did you mean by that?
Oh yeah. I'll give you a couple of real life examples. So the way that we run our business is we create and source our products from overseas. Our lead times are anywhere from 8 to 12 weeks, for instance. And the way that we were historically tracking our business, basically every month we're looking back at what items did well on each channel and how's our inventory levels on some of these items and things like that. We basically, one, we realized that we didn't have really great systems in place. So it was a system issue. So that's one piece. But then two, we started selling on this thing called TikTok shops. Probably heard of it, right? It's like we got into TikTok shops as a brand and we had no idea what we were getting into. But a couple of our items took off. And we were selling like crazy. We sold out of them. And then we were out of stock for 2.5, 3 months. And so it was like, it immediately put a wrench in our system of, okay, we have to air freight some pallets over and that's super expensive. So now we have cash flow problems. And it's just like the way, just specifically the last 3 or 4 months, we're like, this isn't working. Like the way we're currently looking at the business isn't working. So it is a systems problem. We really don't have any other support for me and my wife to help us look into the numbers. Stephanie works part-time on the business. The more that the business has grown, she's doing other things. She's like, I'm good. So it's one of those things that what got us to this point, to this place, isn't probably going to take us to the next place the way we're currently doing it. And so Danette, the way you're talking about, hey, you need to reevaluate. We need to rethink on how we're running this, because if we're going to 10X the business, I read this book, 10X is easier than 2X this year. And I'm like, shoot, how am I going to do that? What is that going to look like? There's no way we're going to 10X based on the way we're currently doing it.
Sure.
Well, I think if you're doing overseas shipping, then, you have all these things that have happened with the ports and with the cost of the containers and all that kind of stuff. What about a local warehouse where you actually stock some of your best sellers and they do the drop shipping for you?
Yeah, we do that. So the way we have a warehouse and 3PL that we use to fulfill for us, and we have a lot of inventory. We truly do. So like we always bring in quite a bit of stock for sure, but it's more of these when items are hitting and things are going well, like activating, getting inventory quick.
Right.
We still print overseas. And so we don't have a solution in the US or even in Central or South America or anything like that. But anyway, the potential like evaluation, like we should consider who we're, printing with probably. And so there's lots of other potential ways that we could look at it for sure. But yeah. All sorts of stuff.
It sounds like it's an amazing business. And I think, if you just go into the details of each little thing, then absolutely.
Yeah.
Have other vendors that you can call on that are easy. They may be a little bit more expensive, but they can fill the void for a minute.
Yeah.
Keep everything moving.
That's one piece. It's also one piece on our list is like potential printing manufacturing partners out there. So I have friends that are moving stuff to Mexico or Thailand or India or whatever it is for their manufacturing. And I don't know. It's hard because we built our business on the fact that we could print our products in a place that is super easy to do that and it's super cheap. But is that sustainable? What if, who knows?
Is it going to be affected too if the tariffs coming?
Tariffs. We're talking about that right now as a team.
Yeah. So maybe having something that is local, like I said, that maybe it's not the volume, but does a smaller amount for you.
Yeah.
Maybe is a little bit more expensive because it'll be like that for the startup with smaller volumes.
Yeah.
You're not in that crunch. You're not having to spend the money to air freight, which is extremely expensive when you need to.
Yeah. No, you're totally right. It's a great point.
Brandon, with a business like Garrett, I'm sure not only on the entrepreneur side, but also on the commercial lending side, I'm sure there's options for them to get help with some financing and things like that could leverage some of what they're doing. Like when you see a business in Garrett's side in that 4 to 5 million range, profitable and trying to scale, what are the things you look for on your end to say, hey, you're ready to talk to a bank and we can help you, or here's what you need to do to get ready?
I think the biggest thing is cash flow. What's that look like? I haven't dealt with a whole lot of companies like that because we don't have a whole lot of people here in Mountain Home doing that. Of course, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm the expert on it. But man, I think the biggest thing is what's cash flow look like? What's historical cash flow look like?
Yeah. Thanks, Brandon. Garrett, one last thing I'll say on that is definitely in Northwest Arkansas and in the state in general, we are starting to see some of that local expertise that you may not know is out there. I'm going to give a plug to a great friend of mine named Colin Sanders. I don't know if you know him.
I don't know.
But he runs a company there in Fayetteville called Bigley, and they're a $40 to $50 million e-com business, right?
Wow.
And they do their distribution and everything right there in South Fayetteville. And guys like that who have been through that 4 to 5 million range and have been able to scale it, I would encourage you to look for those people. And typically, they're going to know, oh, here's what I did. And I didn't know it at the time, but it wasn't that hard. I would encourage you to look for some of those folks.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Thanks for saying that.
Yeah. I'm happy to make an intro to Colin.
That'd be great, dude.
He's an awesome guy. Awesome. We're getting close to wrap up time here. And I don't know, Brandon, I don't know if you're going to have the bandwidth on the Wi-Fi to talk about what's kicking your butt, man. But we appreciate each of you jumping on. And I think this is the first episode where we had all Arkansas people. Isn't that right, Joe? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's cool that we're starting to see that community and those conversations growing, and appreciate each of your time. So to wrap us up, what we'll ask you to do, and Garrett, we're going to start with you again.
Cool.
Give us a 60-second plug for your business. And man, we appreciate your time.
Yeah, that's great, man. Hey, listen, there's no better time to tell the one you love that you appreciate them like buying a journal, a very high value, meaningful gift. And so check us out. DuncanandStone.com is the website. We sell all sorts of great goodies and giftable items. And so whether you like to travel or read, or you're engaged, or you're married, or you have kids, or whatever. All sorts of great stuff over there. So this is our annual Super Bowl over the next 45 days. Go check us out. Go support us, duncanandstone.com. And then check me out on LinkedIn. Garrett Peters, find me out there. Would love to connect and hear your story and grab some coffee or something like that.
Awesome. Thanks for being here, Garrett.
We're stoked.
Danette, we'll go to you.
Eric, my company is Designs Group Consulting. We can help with everything in the marketing world. And also as a business consultant, we can help figure out some strategies and do audits for you and write business plans. We help everybody in every industry. It wakes us up in the morning to help people. We love seeing businesses thrive. And we love when we're working with startups too, where they have this vision and we bring it to life for them and then we're able to manage it for them. So we're very affordable. We're very reliable. We respond very quickly to all of our clients. We're invested in them. And it's been a pleasure to be on here. And it's great to communicate with everybody and meet everybody. And if I'm available to help, just give me a call. And I'd love to help anybody I can.
Awesome. Danette, thanks for being here. We appreciate your time. Brandon, give us your outro here, man.
All right. Again, Brandon Barnes. I guess I got to be careful on what I say about the bank, just due to regulations. But work for Arvest Bank. Easiest way to get a hold of me is 870-405-0516. If you're in the Mount Home area and got some dirty laundry, the laundromat is Dirty Drawers. So you can pop in, drop your drawers, and get them clean. So that's my spiel.
Awesome, man. Brandon, we're glad you're here. Well, awesome. Well, guys, thank you again. This was our 8th shot of this live podcast thing. It's been a great conversation. You guys keep kicking butt. Anything we can do to help reach out. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
So great. Thank you, guys. See ya.
See ya.
Yeah.
See ya. See ya.
See y'all.